Hello everyone, welcome to Coding Grounds. Today's video is about configuration of Visual Studio Code for web development. As this is a new series related to our web engineering course, so stay tuned for some exciting stuff in future. Please like and subscribe. Okay, so for any type of programming language, you would require some sort of editor. Now, there are a lot of editors available for web development, uh, includes uh, Notepad++ or Atom, etc. There are a lot of choices available, but uh, Visual Studio Code is one of the most prevalent one these days, and I have personally found it very easy to use and very uh, supportive of the programmer. So let's jump into the actual video, how we are going to install Visual Studio Code and how we are going to configure it for web development. So what you need to do is first of all to download the Visual Studio Code, for which you can just simply Google it and you'll get to this website. There are a lot of versions available for different operating systems. So if you are using Windows, you can download one of these. For Linux and Mac operating systems, you can go to the other versions. So uh, based on the type of your operating system, you can get the 64-bit or the 32-bit version. So I'll go with the 64-bit version just to show you how you can uh, download it. So the process has started. I'll just pause the video and let it get downloaded. Okay, so it's downloaded. Let's run it. Okay, so I accept the agreement. Next. Uh, I would suggest you select all of these and then proceed with the next and then press install to get it installed. Okay, so I already have an instance of VS Code installed on my system, so I'll not go with the full installation. I'll cancel it here. Okay, so once the installation finishes, you get this dialog. You can choose to launch Visual Studio Code right from here and by clicking the finish button, or you can just go to your desktop and double click the icon that has been produced for you. So let's try to launch it right from here. So I'll just click the finish and wait for the Visual Studio Code to launch. Okay, so it is being launched. This is you for the first time. If you are running it for the first time, you will uh, get this welcome page or get started page. Uh, as I had it previously installed, uh, okay, so it is also loading the release notes for me. Although uh, you can check it. Okay, so I'll just close it. As I had this installation, so it will show me my the folders that I have opened with Visual Studio Code previously. If this is your first time, then you won't have any recent activity here. Okay, so let's start to explore the main interface of VS Code briefly. Here you can have your Explorer where all your files and folders that you have opened, you can see them. Similarly, there is the search functionality in which you can search through your projects, etc. And one important uh, part which we will be using specifically in this video is the extension step. We'll come back to it. And similarly, the settings tab. Okay. So if you want to change the fonts or something like that, then you can use it. You can also change the themes, etc. But for this video, this is out of the scope of this video. So in order to enable this Visual Studio Code for you to run your basic web development projects, and I'm saying basic because for now we'll be setting it for uh, HTML, specifically for HTML and JavaScript. Okay, so let's go to the extensions tab, uh, and it will show me if I had previously installed any uh, extensions. Extensions are basically small configurations uh, or uh, software components that can be separately developed for VS Code, and then it's available on this marketplace and people can uh, install them for free or for some charges. Okay, so uh, the extensions that we will be installing today, or which I have already installed, most of them are free. Okay, so the first extension that you would require in order for you to directly run your HTML code from VS Code is the live server. Okay, so go ahead and type live server and you will get this extension live server. Okay, here, this one. Okay, so you just install live server and it is being installed. We'll wait for it. The benefit of live server is that you will be able to run your HTML code directly from the uh, editor. Okay. Uh, okay, so it's done. Uh, you can always uninstall it and disable it from here. We'll look for another handy extension that is called the Prettier. Yes, this one. So this will help you format the HTML code in a better way. You will be able to see all your tags in different colors, etc. Okay, so it will make your code very easy to understand, and it clearly formats the whole code. Okay, then there is there are a bunch of free extensions for web development that you can utilize. You can look for them. For example, this auto close tag. Okay, so what it does is you write an HTML tag, and once you hit it, it will automatically generate the closing tag for you. Okay. Similarly, the bracket pair colorizer. It means it gives you a bracket matching in terms of colors. Okay, so each indented pair of brackets would be colored differently, so it would be very easy to identify them. Uh, you can explore it on your own. There are hundreds and thousands of these extensions, but the basic ones we have already installed. So we'll just open the Explorer. So for now, I don't have any open folder here. In order to write my code, I'll need to specify a folder in which my files will be stored. So I'll just click open folder, and if I have a certain folder, for example, my previous code would be in the web engineering folder. Okay, so this would be some previous code, and I have created it VS Code Workplace. Okay, so I'll just select it and it will load all the files in that folder. And whatever file I want to create now would be inside this folder. Okay, you can change it anytime if you want. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new file in our chosen workplace or the folder. So new file, and we'll just specify that it is test11.html. So you see, Visual Studio Code has already recognized this. It has its own icons for each file type. So when I enter this file, it created an HTML file for me. And now the fun begins because Visual Studio Code has this awesome functionality called the emit, and it helps you a lot while you write your code. So I'll just go ahead and type exclamation sign, and this is called the emit abbreviations. If I select the three exclamation signs and hit enter, okay, it just created one tag. Rather, we'll select the first one, and it creates a whole skeleton for an HTML file. There is a bunch of meta information already included for me. So if you don't understand this right now, don't worry about it. Uh, we will be looking at it in details. The thing that you need to understand is that it is an HTML file, and it is basically an HTML5 tag. So the emit functionality creates the head tag for you, give you a basic information. I can just change it. uh, Hello world. It will change the title of the web page. The body tag includes a lot of other tags, so we can just go ahead and type anything. For example, I can just write text and it would appear in the body of the page. So this is the first page. First page. Okay. Then you can create some tags. The IntelliSense window in the or the IntelliSense functionality in VS Code is very efficient and very helpful. Uh, you can just start typing any tag and it will give you all the suggestions. So if I say I want to uh, create, let's say, a paragraph. So you see, I just typed the tag and it provided me with an ending tag, and I'll say this is a new paragraph. I am not using too many new tags because obviously you haven't learned those till now. So I'll just stop here. You can see when we installed the live server extension, the status can be checked over here. So I'll just click go live and it will, okay, it starts a default server on port 5500. Okay, so I'll just close this, and now I know that a server has been started by the Visual Studio Code, which I can use to run this code. Okay, so in the background, if you can see, I'll just minimize it for you to look. Okay, so here is the default server that Visual Studio Code created for me. Okay, and here is the title of the page. Here is the text that I created, and then there was a paragraph. So you can see that it's the new text has been started in a new paragraph. It's a local server, and here is our test11.html file. So it has been run. If I somehow change the code, uh, okay, so let's change some part of this code and I just save it. Okay, what I need to do is just save it. So hit Control S and the file would be saved. And if you go back to your HTML file, sorry, the browser, it will load the latest page. Okay, so this is a very basic intro of the Visual Studio Code for developing web applications and websites, specifically using HTML. As time goes on, we will be adding more features, more functionalities when we study JavaScript or other technologies related to web development, and we will try to code and execute those using Visual Studio Code. So I hope you learned something from this and you found it. I hope you found it interesting. So try it yourself and enjoy the features of Visual Studio Code. Uh, if you have any questions, you can always comment in the video section on YouTube. So thank you all and take care.